Hello and welcome to today's European SharePoint Office 365 and Azure Community webinar. My name is Shane and I am delighted to be joined by Knut Relbe-Moe, who will be talking to you about can you build an intranet with modern SharePoint? Remember to join in the conversation about today's webinar on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is @EuropeanSP and our hashtag is ESPC17. After the webinar, we will have a questions and answers session. Type any questions you have for Knut in the questions window. Some questions will be selected and answered at the end of the presentation. This webinar is being recorded and you will be notified by email when it is available. And now I'm going to pass you over to our webinar presenter, Knut Relbe-Moe. Hello, Knut.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Knut, and I'm just waiting for your screen to become available. I can see it there now.
Come right now, I think.
Yep, take it away, Knut.
Thank you so much. So thank you all for joining this session from the SPC community. So my name is Knut Relbe-Moe. I'm the product evangelist and the partner manager for Valo, which is an Internet in the Box provider. So for me, it was a really interesting topic to actually see if we can use the modern pages and the modern SharePoint and the modern team sites for building an intranet, if that will be an option for all the customers out there. So hopefully I will give you the answer to this question during this session. But first let me just also the agenda. So this will be the agenda for today, and please do type questions in the question window, and I will answer you them afterwards during the question and reply session. So the agenda of the day will be to talk about the modern SharePoint and the mobile experience, and also we will touch a bit into Power BI and Power Apps, and of course Intranet is the main topic. But last but not least, I will do a comparison with the upcoming communication sites from Microsoft and all of the different vendors out there that has an intranet in a box solution, because that's always something you, the customers or whoever is on the line, will actually have to think about. So first of all, let me just introduce myself. So as I mentioned, my name is Knut, and I'm an Office Server and Services MVP. I'm also doing a lot of classes in Norway for Glasspaper, and actually it's also from that class that this session today was coming out. I actually have a class that is taking a week where is actually going into all the different bits of SharePoint Online to see how we can build everything just for ourselves. So this is like partly the reason why I also wanted to do this session. And as I mentioned, I'm the product evangelist and the partner manager for Valo, the Internet in the Box provider. So please do follow me. This is my email. You can see my Twitter handle, and also you can see my LinkedIn handle down on the screen. So, but also people knows me lately as Super Knut. So not only Knut, but apparently someone likes to say that I'm the Super Knut because I'm always saying super. I learned when I was in United States not too long ago. So then they made this for me. So this is so funny. So I just have to show it wherever I go. So thank you again for the ESPC for letting me do this webinar together with you guys. You guys is awesome. And I look forward to do many more as well. So, but first of all, let's look about modern SharePoint. So what is modern SharePoint all about? Of course, when it comes to modern experience, we get new interfaces for sites. So we get the modern team sites, for instance. We also get new modern pages. And we also do get lists and libraries, which has the modern view. But we can actually do a lot of this stuff from the classical SharePoint as well. So why do we want to create a modern team site or a modern communication site when that will come? And also why, and could that be our intranet? Or would it be some other options out there that could work as an intranet for us? So for instance, everything that should be an intranet, it has to have mobile friendliness. We need to be able to access whatever it is from our pocket, because we have a lot of end users which is running around. They're not even on the computer all the time, so we need to make sure that they will also get all the important news which we have to tell them in their phones. And of course, it should be easy to use. And also, we shouldn't forget that Microsoft has released a SharePoint app for all mobile devices. It's even available for Windows phones, believe it or not. So this is the new SharePoint Home, and I will also show you this live in just a few moments. But this is how SharePoint Home looks like. So here we can see that this is all my sites, which I have visited frequently, and then I have the following sites on the left side, and I can also see I have a possibility to create my own links down here on the left. So this is the page which will show up, and I will click SharePoint here in the top navigation bar. In the modern SharePoint. So this, of some sort, could be my personal intranet, if I will look into it as that, because this is where I will find all the topics and all the sites which is relevant to me as a user. But of course, from an organization point of view, it's not enough to have the home page like this, because here we can do really less customization. We don't have any chance to actually put in our own stuff here if we would want, but we'll also get some news actually coming from both the team sites and the communication sites, which is also coming from the sites which I'm following and so on, that will pop up in this home screen. So for me as an end user, this could in some ways be my intranet. It's an option. And then we have the team sites, which you can see here. So this is an example from Controls and Marketing. So this is a team sites. And here we can actually already see a little bit the reason why we should create the modern team sites and not the classical ones. Because here you can see that this is actually connected with Office 365 groups. So here I can actually go to my colleagues into Office 365 groups as well. And hopefully you all know that whenever you create like a Office 365 group, you will also get the SharePoint team sites, you will also get the planner, you will get it connected with Yammer, so all these bits will be connected together. So that's why it's really important to actually create the new modern team sites for collaboration internally in the organization. But then, of course, the next question would be, could this modern team sites function as your corporate intranet? Because this is my personal one, but for a corporate intranet, could these modern pages function as that? So that is what we will actually look into during this session today. Here you can see the modern library. And I really do love this new interface when it comes to the document libraries, because here I can actually get the information panel here over on the right side. So I can see more information. I can easily edit the meta fields and so on within this window, which is a lot better user experience than what we was used to before. And also I have the opportunity to just get the link right here in the menu. It's also possible to pin some of this to the top, as I will also show you later. So from the document library point of view, there's no reason why you shouldn't start to use, in my opinion, the new document libraries, unless you are using document sets or something like that, because then there's still some issues. But that's something you need to look into as well. And this is actually, I think, yeah. So and also we have the new lists, which I'll also show you, which is fairly is also like this one. This is actually a list and not a document library, but the view is so similar. So it's really easy to learn from the end users. They're not that different as it was before. So it's much easier for the end users to actually work with also the custom list these days, because it actually looks so much the same as you have for the document libraries. And I will also point out some third-party vendors, because there's actually a lot of third-party vendors out there which provides an intranet. So, and I'm not bogus, so I'm showing you all of them, and then you just have to pick one of them, because maybe the one which I'm representing is not the right fit for you. So that's why I should just check them all out and see which is the perfect fit for you. So this is some examples of how classical intranet is created with the tools which we had available before. So you can see that we have different columns. We have some applications here on the right side. We have a roller, we have the menu, and so on, and search, of course. So then if we should create a modern intranet, we would want to create something that maybe looks a little bit similar to this, or maybe we'll have to change a little bit how it looks just because the foundation is the modern pages and the modern team sites for now. Everything will change when communication sites will be out, but we will talk about that as well. So, because probably if you was looking into the virtual summit that Microsoft did earlier on 16th of May, and they was releasing communication sites. So communication sites is of course coming up, and that's something we need to look into. So as you can see, communication sites is actually giving us a lot of the things which we will expect to have in an intranet, and here you can see a little bit about what the things which is here. So what is, if we should, before we can actually look if can modern SharePoint help us with creating a modern intranet, we need to look at what will be the requirements of an intranet. And typically what we expect from a modern intranet is that it should provide a personalized experience for the end users. It should work anywhere with any device. It should be modern and beautiful design. SharePoint wasn't traditionally beautiful, but it's have improved a lot with the new releases. It should, of course, leverage everything from Microsoft, which this will do. It should be built using most recent development frameworks. That is a check. And it should be highly customizable for the customers. So that is what we'll look into, what is the possibilities when it comes to that. And then, of course, to have typical requirements when we should create an intranet. And then we will look into now together, can we fulfill some of this or all of this with the intranet of a modern SharePoint? So this is what we will actually look into now. So typically, we do have a requirement for company news because the organization, they want to tell the employees about news inside of the organization. For instance, maybe they just won a big case. Maybe they want to inform about Christmas party or summer party or some things which they want to inform about. And then there's also about the content pages, because typically, of course, we would want to be able to find information within our organization. For instance, we would want to find where is the insurance documents, what is the insurance policy in my organization, what do I need to do when I want to apply for vacation, and this kind of things is typically what you would want and what you expect to find in a corporate intranet. So can we do this with the modern SharePoint? Let's see if we can do that with modern SharePoint. So I will just jump out of my slides now, and I will actually go into demo mode. So I will just open up this one in private window instead, because then I will go into my test environment here. So this is just a recently installed Office 365. Here, nothing of Nova third-party stuff is installed here. So this is a clean installation of Office 365. So let me just go to my SharePoint home. As I mentioned, if I click SharePoint, this is what I will see. So here you can see, as I mentioned, news from sites that I'm following. So I can actually go and click to see all, and then I will see more of the news which is actual for me. I can also search news here, as you can see, which is good in some sort. So here we can also see that the amount of views this page has, but I can't do too much more from this window. But I can actually click it, and then I will go into that page within that modern team sites. And again, please do ask questions if you have. So here you can see that I have images, and this is actually how a modern page can look like, and a modern news item. If I go to home on this page, then we'll see that here we also have the news roll-up of some sort, because it shows the news which I have in my site. So this will be good for showing news. And then we of course have activity. So this is the latest activity on this page, and this is also something we typically would want to have in an intranet, because this will be easy to find at the later stage. But let's go back for now to the SharePoint home. I'll go back from here, and then we can see that this is all the sites which I'm following. So this is the sites which for me is a little bit more important. So I can also click here to see all. So this will be the overview of my sites. My biggest concern with this when it comes to the end user is that I don't have any possibility to categorize this. Typically, I would want to have like some categories on top so I can filter this also based on categories and not only from having everyone or the ones which I'm following. So here I can unfollow something by just clicking like that. I can also unfollow this one, can unfollow that one, that one. Let's just unfollow most of them. So, and then we will create a new one together right now. So, which will be our new intranet. So yeah, so let's just do like this. So now I'm just following the SharePoint Fest. That's the only one which I'm following. But still we can see we have also something called the frequent. This is which I have been into for the latest time. They are showing up just because I've accessed them from some time ago. And also we can see that Delve is actually working in the background here because it also sites which is similar to the other sites which I'm following or which I entered into. From the corporate perspective, it would have been really cool if I could have added like a corporate way of this homepage. The only thing I can do is to actually add my links, the featured links I can do as a corporation. But again, they are just here on the left side, so they're a little bit hidden in my perspective. If I should have this as a corporate intranet, I would much rather want to have them here in the main window as my main links. But again, it's possible, depending on the requirements of the organization. You can still manage of some sort by using the future links down here. Then, of course, we should look into how to create a new site. So if I will click Create Site from here, this will give me the opportunity to create a new team site connected to Office 365. So let's just call this Intranet, or modern Intranet, you can even call it. So this will actually create a group for me as well. Here I will set the publicly privacy settings, so I can just have it like this. And I don't need to add any owners or members at this point in time. It's okay with me, so I can just click Finish. So this is how it will take for me to create my own modern Intranet site. So we can see now I have my layout here. This is typically what we are expecting to have in Office 365. I use this one. And then I can create my stuff from here. So let's just for now say that we want to create also something. This will be the main landing page, but let's also create, for instance, some site for the HR. So to do that, I will go to Site Contents, and let's create a subsite. So let's see, hopefully it will be finished with loading. So here I will create a new subsite. And let's call it HR. Hopefully you're seeing what happened now, because now I'm suddenly into the old SharePoint. So to the classic SharePoint is probably a better way of pronouncing it. So now this will create a subset for me. So this is one way of creating a site for HR. But another way of creating a site for HR will actually be to not create it as a subsite, because this was actually getting the classical view. So what I would have recommended to do instead of creating this as a subsite will actually be to go back right here and just click SharePoint actually again. And the best approach will be to instead maybe to actually go here to create site and just create actually a group also for your HR department. So And that will also be really easy for you later to add different security stuff and so on, because then you also get Office 365 group, so then you can just add all the people in the HR department there. So now we have our own HR department. So let's just add some news for the HR department. So I will just click Add News. This should be the name of my page, and this is using the new page layout in SharePoint. So let's just add this to call it Insurance Policy. And then we can click here, and then we can see that this is the stuff which we can actually add into my news item, or my page for that matter. So see, I can add links. I can add also text. So let's just add some text into this one. Let's go to my Word where I have some pre-created text which I can just paste in. So I will paste it in, and you can see that this functionality is actually working really well, because it took with it most of my design. So it's even with the header, it's also managing to pay my table. So for the content producer, this would be a really good way of actually producing content. I also want to add an image to this one. So let me just go to my folder here, and I want to add health. So I'm just drag and dropping the image into my page. Let's see if this is working. If it doesn't work, we can always click down here and add an image and do it the hard way. I can go and upload an image. And then I can go to my Dropbox, my speaking folder, ESPC, and click Finance, for instance. And I can add that image. So now I have an image also attached to my article. The thing which I can't do, which for now is a little bit kind of what I would want to do, would be able to also add like an image on top here. But this is not a possibility before the communication site will come. When the communication site comes, we also get that possibility. Let us also add an image to the top of the screen. So I can go to Image, and I can go to my Upload again. And let me just add employees to this one. So I'll just click Add Image. So I have a news item or a page with all this stuff. So let's just click Publish. So now you can see that it will also soon go into my news here. So let's just take a new one, news item 1, and let's just for this one add text, and I will go to my Word document again, and I will just take some more text from this one and add into here, and we will click Publish. So there you can see I got the news item here because this one I created just as a page and not a news item. So if I will click Edit on this page, let's see what is the options for the landing page of our intranet. So here you can see I can click Edit, and here I can either do the top story, I can do a list, or I can do side by side. I don't have like a news roller or anything like that. So I have some limitation with the layouts, which for now is provided from Microsoft to me, but still it's a good start. So, and then we can see that I can actually also go here and add. And again, I can go and I highlighted content. I can go and add an image gallery. I can add Power BI even in here. A quick chart. I can add the Yammer feed, so we can actually connect Yammer with everything else. And I can also add quick links. So let's just try to add quick links. So add here. You can see that I can enter the link of the web page or the file. So for instance, if I would want to add the page to, let's see, SharePoint Europe, we can just go here, we can find the link. So it don't need to be a SharePoint page. We can just take this one, we can go here to my home for HR, and I can add that one. And then I can change the image. So I can select what type of image I want to have. I can also upload an image if I want. But for this matter, the globus is good since it's a page. So I can also write SharePoint Europe. So for this, it could actually work well also to create links, for instance, to the important documents from the HR department. So let's just, for now, click again Publish, and we will add some documents as well. So I will go here to add some documents. So this is the modern view of the document libraries. Here you can see that I will just add like an Excel template, and I will add also my PowerPoint template and my Word template. So these 3 files I will just drag and drop in here. So now you can see that it's uploading 3 items. So this will typically be like, for instance, insurance policies and this kind of stuff. So here we have my Word template. So let's just rename this one now to insurance policy. And we will rename the Excel file to be vacation list, for instance. And the PowerPoint presentation could be renamed so it will replicate, not insurance policy, but it should be replaced for HR benefits in my organization. So now I have my document. I will go back to my home page. And then we again can click Edit to make changes to it. And we can see that the newest documents is, we have some documents here from the activity. So I can see my latest documents here. So if it's not too many documents added, I will find them really easily here. But then my employees will start to do more and more stuff. This will be gone with from this list. So that's why we need to add them. So it will be easy for my employees to find, because it's all about findability. And here you can see that I have a few options. They don't have created the document library for me to add into this one here, as you can see. That's something that depending on your tenant. In some tenants, if you have first release on, we will be getting that possibility right now. But I didn't want to put first release on this one, so people will see how it is without first release. So, but I could add, for instance, document, and then I can take insurance policy to showcase that one. So that means that this will actually be like a Word Online web part that will actually showcase the content of that file to the end users. So that could work in some cases. So that could work, but it will again then take a lot of the screen size. And of course, if you will resize the screen, you see that it still works, but it will on the mobile phone be, as you can see, nearly impossible to look at this one. So that's something we need to keep in mind as well. So for that, maybe we should have, instead of having it like this, we should just have added it as, for instance, a quick link. So you can just add the quick link here, and then you can see I can just link up straightly my insurance policy document, and I can click Create, and it will be here. I can also easily just add vacation list, and it will be here. So the good part that this will now all the time be available here for my employees to find with ease. So let's just delete this one. I don't want it at all anymore. And then I will just click Publish. I can see that we have some questions, but we'll do like a reply to the questions at the end of the session. So here you can see we have quick links, and then we have which is showing me what I want to show here. Let's click also Edit. Again, let's see quick links. Like this. So what I also would want to do is actually to rename this, and as you can see that is not a possibility for now. So typically, I maybe would want it to be named quick links. I would maybe want it to be creating useful links or something like that, that is not an option for now. So it is quick links, so take it or leave it, so to say. And now you can see that I'm also following this one. So if I will now go to my SharePoint home again, this is my corporate intranet for myself, and I can see that I will have more up here, and I also have HR right here. So it's there. For some reason, it showed up 2 times, but I think that will be fixed after some time. So, but at least we have it easy straight from here. And also, after the news from that I just created will also pop up here. Just need to be indexed first. So that's also something that can be a little bit challenging with SharePoint, that it just doesn't show up here immediately as it did in my HR side. So if I go to HR here, you will see that here it popped up immediately. And also if we will go back to my modern intranet, which should be the landing page of all this for my HR, my internal services, my IT department, and everything, we can see that if I should be able to navigate from all of these different sites, I don't have the option to create my own menu on top like we are used to in SharePoint. And I will click here, we can go to site information. I can go to view all site settings. So let's see what we can do. We have a quick launch, which has a subset HR. So this is the one that you can see here on the left side. Let's try to add a new navigation link. So this should be just going to my other page. So let's just call it like this. And it should go to Knut, for instance. Heading should be, let's say, subsites. Okay, hold on. And also you can see now that, let's see, that didn't look so nice. So let's see again. Description should be Knut. Okay. Because if the description is empty, it will just use the link. So now it looks more nice. And we can also see that now I can actually click edit links on top here. So I can also go and click and add something here. So let's just go to this one and add the link as well. So let's call it Knut also. And let's type Knut like this. Okay. And click save. So let's go back to my site now to see if this will be replicating, and you can see that this is actually working. So for now I can go here. You see I have more sites underneath here, and I will see also my sites right here from HR and Knut. But this one is of course bringing me to my sub-site which I created. So if I will click this one, this will go into this site here. But the other one is of course creating a site collection. So then you need to figure out how do you want to create your site architecture. Do you want to have sub-site or site collection? That is typically part of any intranet project to define those things. But you can, of course, change that link on top. So instead of having the, as you can see right now, I can go back and I can change it from this HR page to the one which I just created. So let's just go like this, and you can see now we are already in the navigation problems which we had long with SharePoint, because now I actually wanted to go back to my main page, which I couldn't without adding it to the top navigation. So let's just go to site information again and view all site settings, and I will click edit links. So just go and change this one. So I'll change it to my new site collection instead, like this. And let's just actually add a new one, which should give us to my home. So this should be home, or intranet, you can call it. Okay. Yeah, and I just did it the opposite way. That's what you get for doing live demos. there's always some typos. So, and then I would want this one to be all the way on the left side. Let's see, let's drag and drop that one right there. Now click save. So if I go back now, we can see that this is actually working. I have my intranet and I have HR. The only problem is if I will go to HR, I don't have, it actually haven't been updated yet, so I didn't save with my new changes. If I will go to Knut, then we will see that this have no recollection of my other environment, because this is of course its own site collection. So that's why if we would want to have this approach, we need to replicate navigation on all the sites, not only the one which I'm having created here. So that will make a lot of extra work if I should use SharePoint out of the box for this functionality. And of course, we can go and also go into site information. Again, view all settings. And we can go and change the look. So let's see what that will give us as options. This will change the look. So I don't want to go down that road right now, because I'm actually not sure what it will bring us again. But what I want to do, I want to change the logo. And the way to do that is to actually just go here, site contents. Not sorry, not site contents, site information. Click the wrong button, site information, and then let's see if we can actually do it from here, or we actually have to do it from the groups. So if you want to change this one, you will actually need to click cancel here, and then we'll open up the group conversations. You will have to actually change the icon of your Microsoft Teams sites from Office 365 groups, which can be a little bit confusing. So I would love to have that same possibility just within here, clicking site information and click here to change it. And I don't understand why that's not possible. Because here I can just click edit. That was too fast. And then we can actually make that change. So that's what we need to remember. If you create a multi-team site, we can't upload the logo like we did before if you create it with the groups. So because they're all connected together. But as you can see, let's just go back to my PowerPoint presentation for now. As you can see, we could create company news. We can also create content pages, because I can show you actually how I can show you again how we did that. Because we did that for the HR. We created the content page, as you remember, which was called insurance policy. So this is actually a SharePoint page, which is called insurance policy, as you can see here. So this is a content page, which is called insurance policy. And I can share it. I can also do some things with this one myself. Insurance policy. So we can do that. Links, we saw we can do. Social engine, we could, as I mentioned, go to my home page here, and we could add, for instance, click edit, and we can click just right here, add, and we can add Yammer feed. So we can click add feed. So then I will just have to go to here. I will have to click Yammer to get my feed. And I'm just realizing that we need more than 1 hour to make this session, but let's do the best out of it. So here we can see this is my link for my Yammer. I will go to my page here, and it tells me this is not a valid page. So let's just go to all company, and it needs this one. Like that. I didn't like that one either. So, but we can actually do, so let's just create a group and call this Intranet. And I will create it like this, because this is actually the best way of doing it. Because then if I go to my HR, it will work. So then it will show me my Yammer feed. So here I can actually create then even better. We'll be actually go here and create a new group, which will be called HR, which is the one you're tagging with inside of HR. Come on. I'm clicking. Okay, you all saw at least how it was working. So let's try again. Oh, it didn't want to work right now, but it's okay. So for that, you will have to then just create a Yammer group for that page or that site that you want to have it within. So this is okay. So I can type now, hello, this is the HR department. Here you can ask all questions and we will respond. Now you can click add. And let's do save and close. So we could do social, as you can see, because I have my social feed here right now. I can also go into my insurance policy and I could actually add the same feed here. Or I could have added a group called insurance policy that will make all the Yammer conversation only appearing for this page and not for everything else. That will, of course, again require a lot of creation of groups, and I need to do a lot of manual stuff. There's nothing is automated here, so it's not like I could click add. When I go here, I can't click edit and then add here Yammer, and it will create the Yammer stuff for me. So I need to do that beforehand. I could also do and the same with Office 365 videos. And here it clicks add a video. And again, I need actually to go and find the video for them. They're not offering me a picker, which for me is really strange. Because if I will go again here, and I will go to Office 365 video, I will then have to find my video. I have to copy and paste it, which will again require me to manually go here, and I need to upload them. So it just will take a lot of time. But we have the possibility to add it if we want. So if we're going back to my slide deck, we can see that I can do that. Events, I for now could not do without creating that within Office 365 groups. I could create an Office 365 group. I have the group already, so I could create my events within there, but I don't have any possibility to show them inside here. But that is something that will arrive with the communication sites. Blogs, I could use Dell blogs for that, but again, I wouldn't have the chance to show them on my landing page. So for me, it's still missing something. But yes, again, I have the possibility to create something. So going back here, this is my modern intranet. I can see that I can go to the intranet. I can go to HR. I can go to Knut. I have my documents over here, my subsites. I could create my news items, but it's still missing some things. But as I mentioned, something is called communication sites that will come out. So, but for forms and workflow, of course, for that we can use Power Apps and Flow, and also it will come up with good integration for Power Apps within SharePoint. So that will be good. Something that is more problematic is the content targeting and the multilingual. That is not possible to set up easy with the Intranet option from SharePoint out of the box. Mobile, of course, is working really well because they have their own mobile app. So I will just show you really fast that. So here you can see my sites. So you can see that I just created and activities, but I can go to news. Let's do that from HR instead. Let's see news. So here you can see my news item. So I can actually go and look at that within my mobile phone. So this is actually working nice. It's also work with my document libraries and so on. So at least I have the possibility to get everything on my mobile phone. And also I can open it up in the real browser, and I can see the stuff then. So now it just seems like it crashed. Probably it's because of the bad Wi-Fi here. But yeah, at least you have the mobile app and you can really easily get it into your pocket. That's possible. Analytics. For that, we have something called Content Pack from Microsoft that has just arrived for Office 365. That will help us for that. When it comes to teamwork, there's also something that, of course, would be Office 365 groups and the modern team sites. So, for instance, if I will go back here, how will I find all my sites? That is my biggest concern. Because I can also do search. I can search for insurance. I can go to show more results. This will just search in modern intranet, but let's see, search all sites, and then it finds it right here. So searchability is good. Going to groups, I still don't find any groups item over here. So to find all my collaboration spaces, I will actually have to go to Outlook. And then I will have to go and look at my group sites from here. So here you can see all my groups. So this is all the groups which I have. So just imagine if I have really much groups. Imagine I have like a lot of them. Then this can be a little bit difficult to actually navigate through. But it should be possible also to, let's see if I click this one, I think it is. Just 2 seconds. So here you can see my frequent contacts, but I can also probably go down and let's see, it should be here somewhere. Let's click manage. No. Let's groups directory. You can see here on the left side. So I can go and actually find all groups. So this will be the directory for me to find all my collaboration spaces. Here I will see the ones which I can join or should join based on some information. I can also see all the ones which is here, which I have rights to see. I can also create a new group just from here. So, but again, for me, this will belong within my intranet and not from Outlook, because now I need to go into the Outlook web interface. This doesn't look the same if I will be in the Outlook client. So this is something that really belongs in my intranet. So I really would want to see that as an option within here. So I can see all the group sites that I have access to, or all my teams just with a slider or something right here. But again, it is possible, it's there. So if you're happy with what you get from Microsoft, then this is completed. When it comes to people, this is actually something which is good. So going back to SharePoint again, on my SharePoint home, I can actually search also up here. Here we'll see the frequent sites. I can also see my frequent files. But if I will search, for instance, for Anne, here I can go and click show more. And then I can also search, let's see, it should be possible to search for people also here. It didn't work from this one. Let's try to do the same from OneDrive then. See if I get the people search working. Because Microsoft also come up with a new contact card, so which is actually really good. So let's search for Anne from here instead. Search everything. Yeah, apparently it doesn't want me to find it right now, and that's typical when you are doing live stuff. So, but that's okay. I will write a small blog to showcase how this will be and publish it on LinkedIn or and because but we can try to go for people here, but that's not the same as I wanted to show you. But let's see. So if I'll search here, yeah. So at least from here it works. I find Anna. This is showing also the contact information. If I will go over and click here, you can see this is the new contact card. But this should also appear from SharePoint Home, so I don't know why it didn't work right now. But here we can see the contact information. You can see who this person reports to, and also can see emails that we shared together, and also I can see the recent files that she was working on. So I don't even need to go into Delve to do all this. I can also click here to start to chat directly with Anne. And I can also go here to click Work Profile, which will go and open up Delve. So for me, this is actually really good, the new contact card and the new search possibility within SharePoint. So from that also, you will in some ways get an employee directory, but you will again just have to take it as is. So let's just really fast do a couple of more slides. So you can see that there's possibility to actually get most of this stuff done and made with the modern sites, so with teamwork and collaboration. But also we need to create the architecture. So you could see that now I was just creating HR, and I had to spend quite a lot of time creating that site and also adding all the stuff I need. So maybe it would be better to have someone that will provision all that for you or pre-create all that, so you don't need to sit and do all that clicking in SharePoint. And also we have something with teamwork. So this is like someone which I've created actually a group overview, so you will see all the group within SharePoint. Or like this one, which will show exactly the same. Like this is the group's view from SharePoint. So this is some of the vendors which I've created. And then you have the publishing intranet. So, of course, today's modern building blocks will be modern team sites, which I just showed you, and the modern page library, which I showed you, and the connection to Power Apps and Flow, which you could check out also later. But how will the future look like? And Microsoft, as I mentioned, is creating something called Communication Site that will be probably out at Ignite in September, which will give us a better page builder. And will also allow us to have page templates, because that is missing for me now. I can't have templates deciding how it should look like. I also don't have the possibility to have more than one column. So there's a lot of things which is missing. So this is the new communication sites. Here you can see that we have the news roll-up also like this, right here. You can see that it's also possible to add events, so they will come with an event calendar, which is nice to have. And as you can see, we also have the page templates. And as I mentioned, as you saw, we also have the web part for Power BI, and they have the adaptation content pack that will actually give us a lot of information about how Office 365 is used within our organization, but I'm still missing the same for my application. So for that, I will actually recommend to use Application Insights, and also to do that with Azure Insights to create that yourself. So can we use SharePoint for our intranet? That, of course, was the topic of this talk. So my answer will be yes and no. And this is like a little bit comparison between communication sites and then some of the providers out there. So for instance, from the user interface, yes, it's responsive, and yes, it will have some easy branding. But can you do custom branding? You can't do that on communication sites. And it doesn't have a ready-to-go information architecture, so you'll have to spend a lot of time developing and building that yourself. It doesn't have its own mobile app for now, and of course the mobile app doesn't include custom branding and some push notifications. Of course, support for SharePoint Framework is there, and when it comes to core features, will you have, like, for instance, a news center where you will see all your news and have the possibility to categorize them, for instance? You don't have that in SharePoint communication sites. You could have highlighted articles, because in communication sites you could use the hero web part, but it's not going in any intelligent way. Do you have alert news? You don't. Can you comment on the news? or have a news feed, comment feed. You don't have that. Can you target the content? No, you can't do that either. Can you have surveys? No, you can't. Quick links, in some ways you can do that, as I just showed you, so that should actually have been a yes here. My tools, like that would be like the tools for me as a person. That's not something they have, and so on. So you can see that there's a lot of things that is supported, both with the modern team sites and the communication sites, but still, in my opinion, there's a lot of stuff lacking, especially if the big organizations will want to have a modern intranet. The big organization will, if they will go with modern SharePoint out of the box, they will have to spend a lot of time themselves with custom building things. And do you want to spend time on that compared to actually choosing a vendor that will have done all that for you? So that's something which you need to think about. There's a lot of different providers, as I mentioned, and Clearbox was doing a review of a lot of them. My recommendation would be to actually just ask the vendors to show them their roadmap to see how they are actually planning for the future, and because that's a big difference between them. And also, I would want probably to say that I will go with the provider that is having their stuff within SharePoint and not within Azure, because some of these vendors, they are creating the content management system in Azure and not inside SharePoint. So that means that you don't have the flexibility of SharePoint, so you can't do so much custom stuff as you want because you don't have the possibility. So that will be my recommendation. Also, Collab 365 has created a directory of the different providers, so you can check that out as well. And of course, next steps. I wouldn't have created anything as an intranet without waiting for the communication side, because that would give us a lot of more options in the page builder, for instance. I would probably check out different vendors, and then you just need to make a decision. So let's just move into some questions now, because I can see we have some questions as well.
Great, Knut. Thank you for a great presentation. Yeah, we have plenty of questions, so I'll kick them off and we get through them as quick as we can in the next couple of minutes. Yeah. Okay, so first question, can you tell us something about your experience regarding business continuity? For example, we lose the support for a large number of fields and content types when switching to the new layout.
Not 100% sure if I totally understood the question, but if that person would want to email me about it, I think it would be better to do that as a session together on like a 10-minute call or something, and then we can look into it, because content types and this stuff in the modern list and the modern views, and especially we don't have too much options with, actually if you have a lot of them, it will really break the view, so it wouldn't look very nice. So, okay. So, but yes, if if the person is still here, please just email me. You can see my email now on the screen. So, and then we can talk more about it in private.
Okay, brilliant. In our current intranet, we have a highly customized main navigation. Are you able to show an example of how we can integrate modern with a main custom navigation, or is this not possible?
It's currently not possible. So then you will have to use the classical way, or maybe you could do. Maybe you can be able to do something with some embedded script web parts or something, but I'm not sure. I don't think it's 100% possible yet, but there will be some possibilities later on for that.
Great. Can you create a modern team site without creating a group?
No.
No, okay. Am I understanding correctly that new site collections get the modern site look, but sub-sites get the classic look? This is a reference to Knut's demo of the HR site.
Yeah. You could, for me that is a bug, but as I mentioned, this is, that's why I just did it like I did. This is a totally clean setup, a clean installation without anything. It's without first release or something. So it's like typically how it is for all of you guys listening. So for this is typically how it will be. But probably we could go in and do some changes in the settings to make sure that it's always keeping the modern view. But that is then some setting which if that we will have to add manually. So it will be a default modern subsite as well, because I could have gone in and added a modern page to that subsite, and then it will look the same.
Okay. How can we customize the modern pages using the SharePoint and SharePoint framework extensions?
You have very limitations when it comes to that, but what you could do, you could create SharePoint framework web parts and add that to the modern pages. And there is actually a guy which is called Olivier Giroud, I think it is. If I can find it, which I've created for the web parts. And this one. So this is like SharePoint 40 fantastic web parts that he created here, which is like giving some other options. And I was actually planning to show them, but I didn't have time for that. So, but this will be my recommendation to look into, at least to give some ideas of what is possible to do with the SharePoint and customizations of that, and add that into the modern pages.
Okay. Two more questions because we're pretty much out of time. Does today's demo of Office 365 reflect the same features as in SharePoint 2016?
No, not at all. So SharePoint 2016 is lacking behind. So when it comes to SharePoint 2016, some of the stuff which I showed now will be coming like a feature pack, and some of them will come in this summer, I think. But it's also some things which will not come. So that's something that if you're still in on-premise, you will have to wait for getting all the cool stuff coming. So that is also one point for the vendors if they are kind of providing solutions also on-prem.
Okay. And last question, when do you think communication sites will be launched?
Ignite. So end of September.
Okay, brilliant. Knut, thank you so much for your time today. Very much appreciate it, and a great demo as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And if anyone has questions or want to go more deep down with this, then they are all free to just email me, and we can set up follow-up sessions for that.
Okay, brilliant, Knut. And when I'm sending out the link to the video, I will try and get your slides and get your questions answered. I'll try and get as much information up there on the page before it goes live. So once again, thank you. Great. Thanks, Knut. I will talk to you again. Take care.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, thank you to Knut there for a fantastic presentation. Don't forget our midsummer sale, which runs from the 19th to the 23rd of June. Get a further 5% off ticket prices for ESPC17. Simply use the coupon code ESPC17MSS on checkout. Okay, that is it for today. Thank you all so much for joining me. I will talk to you all again soon at our next ESPC webinar.